Welcome back. 5:14 here as we continue to watch our developing system in the Gulf of Mexico organize. It's not doing anything very quickly this morning, but into tomorrow we are expecting it to continue to strengthen, and then eventually we have a hurricane making landfall in South Louisiana by late Wednesday. So here's what the next 3 days look like. Before we get to the track here, if you do need to make plans, today's not going to be too bad, just a couple showers. This morning's beautiful. Tomorrow we are going to start to see more showers around, and then the biggest impacts will be felt later Wednesday into Wednesday night. So that'll be the worst of this moving into South Louisiana. Here's the official 4 a.m. track. It has nudged to the east, more closer to Lafayette, and now parts of southeast Louisiana in the track. You can see the center of it takes it up right through Lafayette by Wednesday evening, making landfall as a hurricane, right now a Category 1. We always say prepare for one category higher, though, and then moving inland on Thursday. So the official track right now extending from Lake Charles to New Orleans, but the trend has been for closer to Lafayette and some even more into St. Mary and Terrebonne Parish. So we're going to watch that trend very, very closely. Luckily, this is not a stalling storm. It's going to continue to move out of the region, so the flooding risk should be mitigated. Not giant rain totals, but certainly some heavy rain in the forecast with this one. Now, I will caution you, this track is not locked in, and the reason for that, we don't have a named storm yet. Hurricane hunters were just out there. They can't find a well-defined center just yet, so models are still guessing, but we do think it's coming together right in here where we're seeing the big burst of storms this morning, and it's not going to move that fast. Today and tomorrow, it's going to be hanging out down here in just off the Texas coast. It's not really until Wednesday that it gets a kick from an incoming little trough of low pressure, and that pulls it up into the region. You can see your models there split between Lake Charles and Lafayette, and we've had a few high-resolution models trending more so into St. Mary and Terrebonne, so watching that very, very closely. But anyway you slice it, it puts us on the east side of a landfalling hurricane by Wednesday. So once again, today and tomorrow, not doing anything very quickly. It's hanging out down here, but then watch tomorrow. It really starts to organize, and then this is when we have it as a hurricane moving up towards the Louisiana coast. Here we are Wednesday at 7 p.m. or so, about to make landfall. This specific model has it making landfall around Vermilion Bay, Marsh Island, and then putting Lafayette, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans in the surrounding hurricane or tropical storm as it moves inland. And then once we get into Thursday morning, it's moving out and taking the rain with it. So with the track, the closer that core gets to us, the stronger the winds will be. And if that hurricane comes on shore, let's say near Vermilion Bay or St. Mary Parish, we will see some significant winds down here, especially in our bayou parishes. Winds could gust 90 to 100 miles an hour. Now, the closer you get to New Orleans and the North Shore, probably 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts into Wednesday night, and then things finally taper off as we head into Thursday morning. Rainfall totals are not off the charts here, but we will likely see some heavier rain near the core of that storm. Right now, the highest totals are closer to Baton Rouge and Morgan City and Lafayette. Our area on average 2 to 4 inches with occasionally 3 to 6 inches. So our rainfall doesn't look like a major issue, but certainly something to watch. Now, storm surge, obviously on the east side of the storm with waters pushing inland in our bays here, we could see some inundation up to 7 feet or so. The further east you go, less and less storm surge, but all of our tides will be running higher than normal, especially into Wednesday and even into early Thursday. So we are getting ready for this, a landfalling hurricane in South Louisiana, currently centered around Lafayette, Marsh Island, Vermilion Bay, somewhere in there in New Iberia, but we could still see some shifts in this track because we don't have a well-defined circulation. And don't lock it in just yet. Just continue to check back. Our next update will be at 7 a.m. The next track update will be at 10 a.m. Of course, we'll do a cut-in right here on Channel 4 and on all of our digital platforms.
He's 1018 High School.
As a result, because of that update in intensification. Francine is forecasted to reach hurricane status, and that would be before it makes landfall sometimes Wednesday. It looks like maybe even the timing of that got adjusted, but that would be somewhere between Port Arthur, Texas, and New Orleans. So that's a look at Francine, the latest advisory. And here, you guys, we have the latest track. A couple of things that we could take away from the track. I don't know where you want to begin, Michael. If you want to begin with timing, if you also want to begin with maybe some of the up. Looks like now we do have Brian Norcross with us. So hurricane specialist Brian Norcross, we're going to bring you in, I believe, to talk about the latest advisory and just that update from the National Hurricane Center. I don't know, what's your level of surprise here? Because it did look like this thing was organizing quite nicely this morning.
Yeah, I was watching the data from the hurricane hunters, Marissa, and there wasn't any question that it was developing a circulation quickly. They were struggling to find some winds on the southeast side of it, but it really has substantially an organized circulation, so they went ahead and called it Francine. That helps, I think, with communications, too, as opposed to talking about potential tropical cyclones. As you said, the hurricane hunter is still estimating 50-mile-an-hour winds, pressure down a little bit. This is an important number here, the fact that it's only moving at 5 miles an hour at this point. The steering currents really have not gotten it going yet, but they will, so it is going to accelerate as it moves to the north, and a dip in the jet stream is eventually going to come along and grab it and take it up toward Louisiana. Let's look at the analysis of this here when we look close up. This is from the computer model, and you see it doesn't have kind of a unified circular center. It's a little bit kind of strung out north to south and a little kinky looking, but as I said, the hurricane hunter.
Alexa, what's the weather?
Currently, in Gulfport, it's 79 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, you can expect thunderstorms with a low of 74 degrees. Also, there's a storm surge watch in effect until Tuesday, September 10th, 12:15 a.m.
Right there. I know it's hard to see, but there